excited.
It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielson, Matt Kassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
133. Welcome to Two Guys and a Goalie, brought to you by GS Construction. GS Construction is hiring right now. Looking for a gig, they've got you covered. They're looking for experienced pipe layers, operators, topmen, superintendents. Visit gsconstruction.ca. GS Construction, serving your community for over 50 years. Two Guys and a Goalie, another show here that gets no respect when it comes to the Esties. Hey, the Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 until 1 are the Rodney Dangerfields of EST. Hey, yeah. Unbelievable.
It's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
You got any sweet dance moves today?
Dusty, I'm never going to dance again. Guilty feet.
I'm never going to dance again. I can see you dancing to that.
I actually
Cass,
have
did you see this guy yesterday? If you haven't, man, you got to check it out.
I love it. I did, and I love it. Yeah. You know what the best thing about that is we're going to be able to clip that into everything. Like anytime you have any kind of something happen and you're like, we're posting like clip on social media or the Tinders or
That's
Twitters
a good point,
or whatever.
Actually.
It's like that clip will be in there. It's like someone's going to say something that's going to be like Gage dancing. Someone says something else, Gage dancing. And it's going to be funny every single time.
Even my neighbor.
I got a question for you guys about that. So like with that, so because here's my position on like you get a great clip like that of Gajer dancing, which is just beautiful. It's funny. It's great. It's delightful. It brings me so much joy. Like how many times can you reuse that before it dies? Because my wife has been on me recently about like jokes, and she's like, "Stop it! Like you're killing the joke." And I'm like, "I know I killed the joke, and it's funny again because it's so dead that you just keep going back to the same joke and you continue to do it." Because the video makes me think of that because I'm like how many times can you post a video of Gajer dancing, like something happening, and then having Gajer dancing before people are like sick of it, or is it just always funny? What do you guys think?
It's the Peter Griffin chicken.
Well, I would, yeah. I mean yes, but I was going to think, one thing that I still always find funny is when Jean-Claude Van Damme is doing that dance, and that's what it makes me think. Like I want that gif, but of you, Gajer, right? You know the one where he's dancing and they're like, that's funny. I could post that thing all the time. Like I bet you I could post that right now on Twitter with nothing else, and it would get likes. I'm just going to post just that gif. Let's see here. Van Damme.
When he's drunk I think he's wearing a bodysuit in that, isn't he? With
this guy right here, like
pleated pants. Oh yeah.
I just totally posted it unprompted. There's nothing else there, but people are gonna love it. They're gonna be like, "Oh, that's one of my funniest gifts." So, Cass, I guess you could say go forever. You could put it up forever. Right. We could be sitting here 40 years from now, and Oilers fans could be using the Gajer dancing gif. You could be putting it up after every win. Right? There's lots of things you could do.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like you just keep doing it. And it's like, and yeah, for some people, they may be like, okay, joke's old. But I'm just like, when people say the joke's old, I'm like, that's why it's still funny. Like, that's why it's still valuable as a joke, is like, because we can still laugh about this and how awesome this is. So I'm glad, because I'm going to turn that, Gajer, I'm turning that into a gift too. I figured that out. I do that to my buddies sometimes. If I have videos of them, I'm going to turn it into one. So that for sure is going to be a gift, and I'm going to use it all the time. But
I just emailed Benny. I said, can we turn that video, like 5 seconds of Gajer dancing, into a gift that we can put on a social media all the time? Yeah.
Was Benny up for Rookie of the Year? Was he eligible?
He was.
Okay, because I mean, if the Esties are a week later, just the fact that he was able to put that together so quick and have it out.
Yeah.
Like that was a pretty sweet job of editing.
He was trying to make a push to not be eligible until next year.
Oh, was he?
Because it probably would just be him. I don't see EST being able to hire any more people. So unless it was volunteers, I think Benny would be in a class of his own. And I think Awanek didn't want that, so he wanted him in this class.
Well, if HR Daddy's listening, maybe a little amendment in the handbook of rookie status.
Rookie status. You don't classify for a rookie until
certain amount of hours.
Yeah,
worked.
yeah, that's interesting. And then the next year, the nominee is just Ben Thompson. And that's it. And then he wins or he doesn't win.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't get the votes.
And then he loses.
No, you can't. No, here's what is you have to hire like Marshall or the Muzz for something really small.
Yeah. I mean, Marshall has technically done a show.
Yeah.
He did an hour with me one day. Muzz did. She was on for 15 minutes. Marshall's already saying, man, I honestly, it's like when they're a kid and they're like, I want to do what my dad does. Marshall doesn't have another plan. Like his plan is to come work at EST.
Yeah.
He said to me after the ST that night, he goes, Daddy, one day I could be up for a Rookie of the Year ST. I was like, you're right, son, you could. And then yesterday we're walking out of power skating and he had a really good power skating session. He goes to me after, he goes, Daddy, I think this might really help me. I said, that's good. He goes, and I've decided which sports I'm going to put my focus on. I said, okay. And he goes, hockey, basketball, football, and swimming. I said, oh, okay, so you're going to do all those. He goes, yeah, because I'm going to play them all until I can start working with you. And because I played them all, I can talk about them.
It's research.
I was just like, okay, so Marshall is only going to play youth sports, so he has some experience when he gets on EST on the air that he can talk about having played all these various sports.
I can't wait for Marshall at the Olympics in 34 or whatever, at the Summer Olympics by the pool, giving us critiques on someone's backstroke. Yeah. Because his background is swimming.
I swam. He's actually got his graduation tomorrow night.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. He's very excited. He's wearing dress pants and a dress shirt.
You have to. It's next level, man.
Actually, Cass, you do a lot of events. The dress code for this swimming graduation is called smart casual.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What's smart casual?
It means you could wear like runners, like just wear a dress shirt. That's kind of what it means. Like it's more than that technically, but it's like you could get away with wearing like jeans and a collared shirt.
I don't want to wear jeans though, not to this event.
Well, then don't wear jeans. Like you could, but you don't have to wear a tie.
Okay.
Right. Like if you wore like a golf shirt,
suit, no tie. Could I go suit, no tie?
Suit, no tie is good. Yeah. Suit, no tie is good.
Casual.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suit, no tie is good. You could wear like like smart casual would also be like you could wear like a turtleneck with a suit coat and dress pants. Right. Like it's not quite, you have to be at a business meeting, but it's like you still have to look sort of professional. That's really what smart casual is.
I'm pretty sure my wife's got to be there. So
she's going to be there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, she'll know which kid mine is. Benny over in the chat says, losing to Artemi Wilkins was humbling. Artemi Wilkins. Old Reed Panarin popping up and taking home the SD there. All right, so first two guys in the goalie since Connor McDavid decided to stick around for no increase at $12.5 million for 2 more years after this upcoming year. Cass, let's get your thoughts on this, man. When you first heard it was going to be 2 years at the exact same cap hit, what came to your mind?
Oh, my jaw hit the floor. And all of a sudden, all my theories that I got called crazy for, that everyone in Toronto and Calgary was just tearing me to shreds on social media. They were tearing me to pieces about it. I was just like, all of a sudden that became so much more plausible and realistic of a thing, because it was never about the money. It was about giving the team the best chance to win because he wants to cement his legacy, which is just putting the team on his back. So I'm still shocked. I am still shocked that it was 12-5. Like it's insane. They're not insane, but it's so hard to wrap your mind around. I mean, if you're an Edmonton fan, you are tickled. If you're not an Edmonton fan, if you're a fan of the Flames or the Maple Leafs or the Golden Knights or anyone in the West, you're looking at this going like, this isn't fair. Like, shouldn't you have to put like a minimum contract on McDavid? It's like, shouldn't there be limits to how low he can go to try to give the team a chance to win? Because it feels like it's not fair. You know what this feels like, guys? I don't know if you ever did this, like when you're playing like NHL 93 or like 96 or like way back then. And it's like you could like make yourself as a player, or you could like force a contract. Like, when you had GM mode and you could like cheat to get a contract, and like you sign like an entry level like deal for a player.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what this feels like. Like that's what this feels like. It feels like you just like pulled up the little prompt, you typed in a cheat code to lower his salary to the lowest fathomably possible for the best player in the world. That's what just happened, which is just insane.
I don't think I've heard that comparison yet, but that is a great comparison. This is Stan Bowman screwing the system over and just being like, nope, I'm just going to have my guy play it this much.
Yep.
He essentially came out of the grocery store and found $6 million lying in the parking lot right in front of his car.
Bowman, yes.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, hey.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
like
what
this has to be one of the least selfish deals of all time. It's insane to me that this McDavid contract is 100% for the team. Now, that sounds crazy because he's still getting $12.5 million. Like he's doing well.
Yeah.
But he should be getting $18.5 million. Instead, he decided that he was only going to take $12.5 to help the team. This is a 100% team deal, which not many guys are going to do. And he did it. And I was stunned yesterday. I still haven't officially kind of wrapped my head around it. I mean, the fact that he wasn't even just like, you know what, with the cap going up these percentages, let's just give me 13.3 and it's kind of the same.
Yeah.
He's actually making less percentage of the cap
each year
on those other 2 years to help the team even more. It's the absolute dream scenario that nobody even dreamt up in the last 3 months because it sounded too unrealistic.
Maybe the luxury tax is coming in 2 years.
That's get it in. I don't know what to say, man.
It's throwing, like I said yesterday, it's throwing a rock into the middle of a lake, and the ripples are reaching far and wide, and it's a little humorous to look like people actually in Toronto were, and it could have been a possibility, but really thought, yeah, he's just going to play this out and come home. Like that's the way that it's going to go, and this. For those diehard Toronto fans that thought that he was coming home, I mean, this probably hurts more than losing in the playoffs. Like, that's how they're reacting.
Well, I mean, they're used to losing in the playoffs.
Yeah,
this might be a first.
But this was a little bit more plausible.
Yeah. like Noodles said this morning, we had him on. Yeah, he basically said Leafs fans legitimately thought McDavid was going to play it out and then sign with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I just don't know, when you can't even keep Mitch Marner, why did you think McDavid was going to come in and replace him? I know Leafs fans are delusional, but that just seems stupid.
That's another level. I don't see, like, it was the type of thing where it's like, it's not like you could say that was outside of the realm of possibilities that he'd go back to Toronto. But the bottom line, and you knew this, regardless of what the money ended up being, was you knew Connor McDavid wanted to win. You knew he wanted to win. And Edmonton has been to the finals the last 2 years in a row. So he knows that he's got a good chance of winning here. And anywhere else, it's a wild card. Going to Toronto next year, it's a wild card. It's an unknown. You don't know. Like, he wouldn't know with certainty that team was going to be able to accomplish anything because they haven't. Edmonton's got a better track record the last couple of years than Toronto does. So, yeah, it was just crazy that he would go there, like, not outside of the realm of possibilities, but just highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Here's a thought, guys, too, that I had on this. The Edmonton Oilers, basically, another thing Connor McDavid does with this is you basically, this is so crazy, for next year, you're basically cheating the salary cap in playoffs as well with the new playoff salary cap that's coming in, right? You're cheating it. Like, it's just like, because he should be at such a higher dollar value that not just during the season, but it just gives you such an advantage for options as a team standpoint. It's just crazy. Almost as crazy as Toronto Maple Leafs fans, but they're nuts, guys.
Do you think that was on the level of probably if there was a list of things that Connor wanted to see happen and the reasoning why he made the decisions that he did, do you think that played into it, Cass, a little bit? The fact that now in the playoffs you do have to be cap compliant, and what's going to give us the biggest opportunity? Like, that's huge now.
It is huge.
Like, that's a huge dollar amount for a player of his caliber, because all these other guys, and like we said, he's an outlier. all these other guys are going to be looking.
There's no comparable. Yeah.
At the Kaprizov.
Yeah,
that's what they're looking at. So, and how does that conversation go with GMs now, especially in the Western Conference, right? Going, we have to get past the Edmonton Oilers to win here. And their best player is allowing them to add more guys.
He's playing for 2/3 of what he should be playing for. He is.
Like the effects of this obviously aren't going to be huge this year, right? But the next two in that third year, that is going to be massive. When you see all these guys getting lined up as UFAs over the next couple years, like that's, and maybe you get a sweetheart deal on another game changer. Maybe it's a D-man.
Beautiful. Maybe it's a D-man.
Well, that was one of the other areas I wanted to discuss today. We'll dive into like what's the best way to spend this money.
Yeah.
Too. But I also think, and this is like McDavid doing this now makes life so much easier for his current general manager, basically trying to undo the mistakes of some previous general managers with some deals and maybe too much money just out to a nurse or whatever. But I'm fascinated by how he's like, if we're 3 years from now and whether they've won a cup or not, and he decides he's going to go to unrestricted free agency, and anybody who's mad about losing him, their anger will 100% be put towards Jeff Jackson and Stan Bowman and not Connor McDavid, because Connor, you just gave us 2 years at a $6 or $7 million discount, and these idiots couldn't build a Stanley Cup contender around you. Go on your way. We'll just sit here. Like, I think he's set him like he's a saint. He's a saint moving forward, and I think if they win a cup or two, maybe he gives them another rest of the career, another 6-7 years, and
you might.
And that's it. If they don't, though, I like that day we'll be sitting here. And I don't think there'll be anybody going, yeah, okay, fine, McDavid, leave. It'll be, I cannot believe McDavid gave you $12 million in free cap space over 2 years and you couldn't do anything with it. So he's played this perfectly. I think he's played this perfectly.
I think we line the highway of Highway 2 and send him off. Like Valtteri Bottas leaving Mercedes on the convertible.
Not down to Calgary, but just to the airport.
Just to the airport.
It's a long enough drive anyway. But send him off from there.
But yeah, that's fine. To roarous applause and rose petals, I think, after this. This is what's comparable to this? Really? Like, I know that Brady had but he had restructuring of his current deal, right? And
he'd won. And Crosby had won when he took. Yeah. Like McDavid hasn't won yet, and he's willing to sacrifice to try to win where he is right now, which I think is very admirable. Very admirable of him. Lots of text messages. This one comes in from Dirk, and you can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube today, Two Guys A Goalie presented by GS Construction, hammer the thumbs up. Oilers actually are in action tomorrow. They had line combinations today. The boys are going to grab McDavid whenever he speaks. We'll hopefully have that on Two Guys and Goalie. If not, the guys will have it on EST afternoons a little bit later on, but Trev's working on getting that for us as well. Dirk is in and says the doughheads on the Flames Nation site were crying almost. It's gold, Jerry, gold. And you know what? I guess provincial rival, you want to see McDavid leave because it hurts the Oilers. But those guys at Flames Nation have invested a lot into hoping that McDavid would leave the Edmonton Oilers. So it's like 2 years wasted of their bitching and moaning. And it's kind of hilarious to see. I don't watch it, but I'll see it pop up. It pops through my YouTube reels sometimes, and I feel like it's all they ever talk about. I don't even know if they talk about the Flames anymore. But in the end, I mean, it really doesn't. He was never going to go to Calgary. It really doesn't impact the Flames outside of the fact that here's the thing. This is what Flames fans need to realize. Even without Connor McDavid, the Edmonton Oilers are still way better than your team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's funny that they're so distraught about it. Meanwhile, we're up here not talking about Kadri leading your team at all. So it's a tough look. It's a tough look. It's a tough look.
I know it's early to this, but this was my dog walk thought.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Today.
Ooh, love these.
So I'm thinking, so McDavid does this. And I thought, what if Stuart Skinner has a fantastic regular season.
Where is this going?
His next deal. Does the McDavid doing this cause other players to take a little bit of some haircuts to stay?
So Skinner, instead of getting 6, takes 5.
5.
Nope.
No.
Cash quickly.
No. Who like
Connor's kind of doing this so other guys can get.
What about Ekholm? What
Superstars players. Yeah, that's why he's doing it. So other guys can't. So superstar players or veteran players that have been around a long time, yes, potentially.
That's
young guys stepping into UFA years that are young, that haven't really got paid yet. Those guys are going to ask full value, and so they should. So like a Skinner, he's still going to end up 6.5 to 7, realistically. Now, if you were to get like a veteran guy or a superstar of some sorts that's maybe now hit UFA, or like a top 6 guy, those guys maybe if they want to win a cup could take it. But guys that haven't made bank yet in their career, they're still going to ask for their full dollar value.
Who do you target?
Well, yeah, I was just laying this out because I was at Noodles today, said he could see them. So I was just laying out the roster as you brought this up, Gajer. Guys who are under contract next season, and they've got $23 million-ish in cap space for next year. Guys under contract as of right now: Connor, Leon Hyman, so they'd have a top line. Nuge, Savoy, Mangiapane, who's starting the year as their second line, all under contract for next year. And then let's say Frederick, Podkolzin, and Howard. There's 3 more guys under contract for next year. Also under contract for next year, Matthias Janmark, but if you want to get rid of that 1.4, there's probably a way to get rid of that. Everybody else is a UFA up front. On the back end, you're looking at Bouchard, Nurse, Wallman, and Emberson under contract. And Regula, if he plays well, he's only at 775.
Yeah.
So Ekholm's gone. You need an Ekholm replacement. Kulak, you could replace him. He makes 2.7. I'm not sure what that number would look like as well. But you're going to need 2 defensemen of some type of variety. And then up front, Kapanen. I mean, Philp could still be here. He wouldn't cost much more than he costs right now. You could put him in there. So you're looking at, like, let's say 2 forwards, 2 defensemen, and 2 goalies. Because both goalies are unrestricted frees as well. And you got $23 million. Noodles brought it up today that he thinks the McDavid cap savings, which are about $6 to $7 million, probably would be spent on a top 6 forward at some point, Cass. But let's say there's $23 million. Do you spend a good chunk of it on a top 6 forward and a good chunk of it on a goalie of some sort, whether it's Skinner or somebody else, and then you fill in from there? Is that how this thing works when you got Nurse? If you have Nurse and Wallman already on your left side,
you need another top 4 right shot defenseman.
Yeah, right shot D-man, I guess, too. But with $23 million, top 4 right shot D-man, number 1 goalie, and a top 6 winger could probably be attainable, and then you fill in the other pieces with $2 million guys.
Your number 1 goalie is Stuart Skinner, barring a monumental collapse by him this year. You don't like it, I don't care. That's what's going to happen. He's a known quantity. It will be 6.5 to 7 per year, either 3 years or 4 years. That's what's coming down the pipe for Stuart Skinner, barring a monumental collapse. So to say that's what's going,
I'm not sure, but let's see how it plays out.
Whatever. So you have the rest of the money. That's 2 contracts that you're going with there, really, for most of it, and it is going to a top 6 winger and a top 4 defenseman if you can get him. And if you can get him is going to be the big thing for who you can try to have. I would have to look. I'm not even sure who all is available, but you're going to try to have someone slide in there that can fit in that top 4 bill.
I got to do a deep dive into unrestricted free agents in that year. But yeah, you're right. It needs to be like the perfect would be a solid, rock solid top 4 right shot defenseman at that point, right?
So that would be, I mean, with that group there, I mean, that's
Solid
probably what
group.
you're looking for there.
Yeah. But you have to.
I think they're going to want to
Rasmus
spend.
Anderson just for Flames Nation.
Oh, they love that one. They would legitimately be in tears at that point. I think there's going to be a significant money spent on another forward, though.
You think so?
I think so.
Well, yeah. Again, significant money is going to be one forward, one defenseman. That's what you're looking at.
Yeah. But you have to see how this plays out too. Like the regular season shows you where your weaknesses are, right? And there's a lot
where's
of
the
question
weakness
marks.
going to be? Where's the
Maybe
weakness
you
going to
don't.
be?
Maybe Howard and Savoy crush it.
Did you say where's the weakness going to be?
Yeah, where's the weakness going to be?
I mean, I'd
Tell you
still
right
suggest I'd suggest goaltending still. I would.
Don't give me the goaltending, Dusty. It's not the goaltending.
Man, I'm looking at position ranks and I see the Oilers forwards in first, their defense in second, and their goaltending in like 26th. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not
but-
stretching here, Cass. Their goaltending's their weakness.
The goaltending is not the weakness. Goaltending is
man.
not the weakness.
You're nuts.
It's too simplistic a look at it. It's too simplistic a look at it. If they truly felt goaltending was the biggest issue, they would have done more to address it. Goaltending is not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is still your defense. It's still your defense. That's why they went out and they traded for Wallman at the deadline. That's why they just locked in Wallman for 7 years. Your issue is your defense.
I would suggest they've taken care of the issue on the blue line.
Yeah, is it
They're trying
defensive
to. I don't think
personnel
they're
or
all the way there.
Are you
defensive
talking
structure?
defensive structure?
No, personnel. I still think you got a ways to go. I think you'd still need a top 4 right shot defenseman.
I mean, yes, I would not say no to an upgrade on the right side behind Bouchard. I don't think anybody would. But I think right now the blue line is good enough to get them back to another Stanley Cup final. And maybe
is
the
your
goaltending
goaltending.
is good enough to get them back too. But I just think if we're looking at the roster right now as currently constructed, the goaltending would be the weak.
Okay, well, who are you bringing in? Tell me. So who are you paying for? Who's the upgrade?
Well,
Who's
but who are
coming
you bringing in on the right side on the D? I can ask you the same thing.
Rasmus Anderson.
I'll trade for Dustin Wolf.
No,
I mean,
I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that, but I think that's, if I'm building priorities out, that's my priority, is on that right side. Like goaltending, I'm going to try to pull up, see if I can find a list.
I think it's going to have to be a trade if you're looking to upgrade in net, which is not easy to
Probably, yeah.
do. But I think that's probably where it's gonna have to be. Like Gajer, would you view UC Saros as an upgrade on Stuart Skinner? He makes $7.7 million. He's signed for the next 5 years. Where's Nashville going?
Well, it doesn't look like anywhere, but I did think they were going to challenge last year. So what do I know? Certain goaltender styles fit teams better than others. Does UC Saros? I have a problem with the overall defensive play and structure of the Edmonton Oilers. From that, they give up too much, right? If the screws get tightened on that side of their game, you're not talking about a goaltender, because Stuart Skinner's in the conversation as a possible Vezina finalist, because the structure of his play allows for extreme success in defensively sound systems because of how he can play. But when you're allowing passes across, grade A shots from the middle, not from the outside, any goalie's going to struggle. And I don't think that.
But we've discussed his flaws as a goalie on this show a lot. You said it yourself. His balance is off sometimes. He doesn't move well left to right. Like, how are we saying this about an NHL goalie?
It's a lot different when guys are just allowing to shoot, and they're allowing the shots. You know, the guys are going to shoot from the outside. They're not going to get anything from the middle, or even once in a while. But there's too many breakdowns.
What about Sorokin with the Islanders? Where are they going in the next 6 years? He's under contract at 8.2.
See, the thing that Sorokin has a better ability of than obviously the skating is a lot better, and the ability to take goals away, like the big save. He's really enjoyable to watch. But you got to see how Stuart Skinner's going to respond this year.
You know what? Does have a new coach.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something there. Did lose a few LBs. Maybe that helps him a little bit. But
the experience level is
I
really
feel
high.
so weird because I've taken heat for defending Stuart Skinner too much for the last couple of years, and here I am the guy being like, no, he's not the guy. But I guess it's just because I do think that of what they have at forward, a defense, and a net, I would say that the goaltending would be the weakness of the club. But you can chime in if you want. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Cass, how much do you think? Bowman yesterday made it pretty clear that whenever he talked to Connor McDavid, it was not about money. So it was obviously about plans for the organization moving forward. How much do you think McDavid, and he said McDavid's got a great hockey mind. He really enjoys those conversations. How much do you think McDavid said, here, I'm going to give you $7 million in extra cap space. Here's a few guys that I'd like to see you go after, whether they're free agents or whatever, and gave him some targets to actually go get their hands on. Or does McDavid just say, here's the money, I'm just going to sit back, get me what you can get me?
I think both. I think the reason why it took so long is he wants commitment on the vision, which further backs up my theory of telling the guys and telling the boys, being like, boys, I got you. We're going to get better as a team. We're going to improve as a team. I'm going to be back here. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, child. Connor's got a plan for you. It's a reference to a song my kids listen to sometimes.
That's the Swedish House Mafia, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that one. I think he probably wanted to hear what their plans were positionally, and maybe not down to the player because there's so much you can't predict with the player. But it wouldn't shock me if Connor was like this type of player, named player ABC, right? Like we want a player like him that is the capacity or abilities or play style as this guy. Undoubtedly, that was part of it because he would have wanted to hear from the organization. What are you going to do? Which type of player are you going to get? And are you going to get this type of player? Are you going to get that type of player? Like trying to pin them down for what are the actual plans here? Because if I'm going to stay here, I have to know the plans are going to be in place. The money and the savings I'm going to give you is going to be used so that we can win. So he's undoubtedly part of those conversations.
I think it's more of I don't know if they give him, who do you want? I think if the conversation goes, Bowman has an idea of people and he might ask for Connor's input on certain players. He's not giving him a list and going, here, who do you want? I'm going to go try to get them, right? I don't think it works that way, but there are discussions on, do you think this guy would fit? What do you know about this player, right? And they do that with a lot of people, but I'd be curious. I mean, we'd never know, but where does Connor McDavid think the team needs to, who would he like to see come in?
Like from a positional perspective,
Yeah.
like where do we need to solidify some things?
Or is it just a certain player? Because I just think a top, like you said, a top right shot defenseman has more of an impact in a game than another. I guess it depends on how this season goes, but I think I'm optimistic about their lineup right now.
Like if they were able to bring in with some of this newfound money, a legitimate top six forward and another really good forward, then you're looking at the second line of Nuge, Majapani, and Savoy kind of being your third line, right? And then those rest of those guys get bumped down to a fourth line, and you're running Frederick and Podkolzin and somebody on the fourth line. Maybe Howard stays up on the third line or something along those lines, right? So, I mean, this is the end result here. Is that they have the flexibility now. And not because of their general manager, but because Connor McDavid decided that he wants to take a legitimate run, another couple of legitimate runs at the Stanley Cup once again, and knows that this is the best way to make that happen. So all-time legendary move from Connor McDavid. Austin Matthews was asked about the McDavid extension, and he said for him, it's all about winning and setting himself up for the best opportunity to do that. In my time around him, that's the main thing he wants to do. It's what everybody wants to do is win, and he's as committed as everybody. Matthews was also asked, according to Mark Masters, if this puts more pressure on Stars to take less moving forward.
Okay.
Matthews says everybody's situation's different. Every team's situation is different. Cap's going off. going up. It's tough to envision what the landscape's going to look like, but in the end, you always want to try and find a happy medium, which to me does make me believe that Austin Matthews is out of Toronto as soon as he can go in 3 years.
What if he comes to Edmonton?
Oh, it comes to Edmonton. Right.
Let's start the rumors.
Yeah.
Didn't you post free Austin Matthews? Who posted that?
Wasn't me.
Oh, I think it might have been
I tried to ignore the Maple Leafs altogether.
Struddy posted.
Oh, yeah, that was Struddy. Yeah, to the Overdrive guys.
Austin Matthews.
That's funny.
Casino Dealer Jay over on the chat says, guys, losing Connor Brown, Corey Perry, and Evander Kane is pretty significant. Cass, what do you think about the crash and bang ability of this year's team compared to last year's team? That's the way I guess described a little bit of physicality on the group.
Yeah, well, you're hoping you make up with it with Frederick being healthy and being able to play full time. Like you're hoping that at least in your top six, that's who's going to pick up some of that load. I think it's a valid concern to say down the lineup, do we have enough? Now you're going to be looking at guys like a Curtis Lazar to say, hey, can you bring some physicality? Not that you have to go fight guys, but can you, when you're out there, be physical, be hard to play against, be scrappy as a type of player? Can Janmark bring a little bit more of that if he's healthy into the lineup? Are you going to ask Adam Henrique to maybe play a little bit more on that physical side? So there's guys there that have the potential to maybe pick up a little bit of that slack. But I think mostly you're looking at Frederick and saying, hey, he's got to be the guy from a physical standpoint in the top six, guy that's going to be getting some minutes. He's got to be the guy that's bringing that. Corey Perry, what Corey Perry did well was he was able to, or is able to, inside of a games, have a feel for the game. When do I start a scrum? When do I kind of bump the goalie a little bit? And they'll miss that. I think they will miss that. Evander Kane wasn't here all of last year anyways until playoffs. So just write that one off, throw that one away.
Yeah.
So you're more looking at Corey Perry, how do you replace that? Frederick gets around better than him. So from a hit standpoint, it's going to do it. A fair question to say, hey, is he going to have enough feel for the game to know when to start a scrum, grab a guy, bring up the level of emotion? Can he bring up the level of emotion inside of the room? And we just haven't seen that yet because he hasn't been healthy in real games for us to watch.
This again, I think, is why maybe this year interests me more than others, because I want to know what the identity of the Edmonton Oilers is. Like what type of team are they? They've been a puck possession team for the past number of seasons. They're trying to gain the blue line, attack off the rush, that works in the regular season. But when they go through the playoffs, what's the first thing you notice? Everything just gets tighter. The amount of room and space to accomplish these things. And I remember the one phrase Connor McDavid said in the finals last year was, we keep doing the same things and it's like we're banging our heads against the wall. And it was, to me, I thought of it as we're trying to just go through their guys and make things happen. And the physicality part of the game, like how many times has Nabla asked about, you had 3 hits amongst your group, but they had the puck the whole game, right? It's hard to get hits when you do have the puck. But I think you have to start training that way of, maybe there is a bit more of a dump and chase game, chipping it behind the D. It doesn't always have to be a slick pull up or a backhand sauce to someone, right? Straightforward hockey. Not unlike what the Florida Panthers did last year. Like that hockey was broken down into its simplest form. And even when you look at the Four Nations, man, that was some of the greatest hockey I've watched in years. And what were they doing? Chipping it behind D, getting in, getting pressure, forcing pucks, making them make turnovers. We're not reinventing the wheel here, but when you can get 20 guys all on the same page, doing the exact same thing and playing it at that high a level with execution, you're very difficult to beat. And I think that's what I want to see from Nabla now that he kind of, again, this is his team now. He's got new coaching staff. But I want to see what this Oilers team is. What is their identity? Is there that level of aggressiveness without the puck to make it more difficult on teams playing defense in the offensive zone? I think that is the formula for a very successful hockey team, and the Oilers have been successful. But if you add that extra layer, that makes them very. When you're looking at the schedule, you're dreading those days because you know it's just going to be a absolute battle.
Good stuff on the identity. We'll find out here over the next little while. How long does it take to establish?
Tomorrow night.
I was going to say, that's what I was going to ask you, Cass. Like, how long does it take to establish an identity as a team when you're adding in four or five new guys?
10 games unless you have a catalyst event.
Okay.
10 games unless you have a catalyst event. So 10 games would be your standard. It's when you kind of know what the team is going to be. Typically, not every time, but as a general rule, unless you have a catalyst. Now, a catalyst would be, we'll call them a signature game, statement game. Like if you had a
7-0 against Calgary and there's a line brawl, you win 4 of the 5 fights.
Brawl. Yeah, and one of the goals was disallowed because the guy who assisted on it was supposed to get kicked out, but the refs missed it. Like that sort of game, you have that, your identity gets cemented, I think, lots quicker because it just pulls together as a group. So normally 10 games, stuff can happen to bump that up.
Connor grabs Anderson and beats the tar out of him.
Identity set.
And when they're in the penalty box, he leans over and he's like, "Now come play for us." And your contract's up.
Come play for us because I'm tired of beating you up.
Hey, listen, man. You know why I only took 12.5 and why I got in the box with you now? I want to tell you right now. But he's yelling it at him like he's mad at him. Yeah, well, you should probably come up to Edmonton next year and play on the second pair with Woman. And it's like, wow, McDavid is furious right now. That'd be funny. Benny has done it. If you go to the Yeg Sports Talk on Twitter, we have our Gage dancing gif. It is exactly what I wanted it to be. It's hilarious. I just retweeted it. That is too funny, man. You are hilarious. This is. Oh, I can't wait. All right, so the season technically begins today. We haven't done our East, West, and Stanley Cup picks yet.
Oh, my gosh.
I just thought about this. I was like, we better bang this out. So I'll give you guys some time here if you want. I've wrote down some things.
Okay.
Just while we were talking here. But we'll go out of the East, we'll go out of the West, and we will go Stanley Cup champion. Gajer, are you ready? Do you know where you're going with this? Or?
I think I do.
Okay, well then go ahead. You go first then. Let's see what's up.
Well, how are we going Stanley Cup first?
East champion, West champion, Stanley Cup winner.
I think the East champion this year will be the Washington Capitals.
Whoa. Okay.
Washington Capitals back to the finals, and they will meet. This is tough, but going back 3 years in a row is very difficult. But I think the Colorado Avalanche are going back to the Cup.
You say the Colorado Avalanche are back. Okay.
Oh, a thimble.
What is it? Oh, a splash of Coke from Reed Wilkins.
That's great.
I hope there's spiced rum in here. Nope, I think it's just regular Coke.
You didn't read the handbook.
Oh, it's a splash of really flat Coke. Ugh, that's not funny. Cass, and then you said, who's winning the cup? Sorry.
Colorado.
Colorado winning the Stanley Cup. Cass, what are you going to go with?
Man, I feel like I said the same thing last year, maybe. I don't know. Because I can't get away from it. I don't think Washington's as good as they were. I'm going to go Carolina in the East.
Carolina. So you like the Ehlers and Keandre Miller? Like a lot of people, it's a sexy pick. They're the Stanley Cup favorites right now over at Play Alberta. Yeah. I just can't do it in the playoffs with the Carolina anymore. I just can't.
If they're coaching, if Brindamore learns how to slightly step off the gas pedal during the regular season, I think they get there. And so this is where I'm at on this. There's some small moves. I think players that could break out. another ex-Kamloops Blazer captain, Logan Stankoven, who signed a long-term deal this summer.
Yeah.
I think is going to be so he was part of that Rantanen trade. He's going to be a big pickup. They make some core signings, which are good. And you have the blossoming of other young players like a Seth Jarvis, who is hopefully primed, if you're a Hurricanes fan, to take another step forward this year. You still have Aho. You still have some of the pieces and the components. So you have that one game-breaking defenseman in Jacob Slavin. So it's just like you have all the pieces there in Carolina. You have all the pieces there. So it's really hard for me to not have them as the favorite to win it. And I really liked them last year, and they fell apart in the playoffs. So I can't pick anybody else but the Carolina Hurricanes in the East.
Okay, who are you going with in the West?
I got a homer pick, guys. I'm sorry.
You going Oil?
But I do think I'm going Oil.
Okay,
I'm
like
going
that.
Oil. I think it's going to be a tough ride to get there. But I'm going Oil. I think they get back the third time, and I'm going to say third time's
of
a
the
charm.
United Cup final from COVID.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm, and I think they get there.
And then who's going to win the Cup?
I think the Oilers win the Cup. And Austin
Matt Kassian
Matthews
taking the Oil to win the Cup.
I will. I legitimately do think so. I legitimately think so. Austin Matthews wins the Conn Smythe.
Okay. Oh, jeez. And I'll go.
He scores 30 goals. 5 games as the gentleman's sweep hits the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round.
We have Connor McDavid's availability. We're going to get to it here right away. That'll lead into EST afternoons. I'll go Tampa Bay coming out of the East, and I will go. I think this could be not an off year, but I don't know if the Oilers have another run in them, especially when they got 2 more coming over the next 2 years. So I'm going to actually say that Dallas doesn't have to go through the Oilers somehow this year. So I'll go Dallas, Tampa. And Tampa wins the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
That's what I'll go with because of the
stays in Florida
because of the
again?
Tax savings.
Tax-free markets.
Tax-free market, man. Tampa's going to win. All right, here's Connor McDavid has availability after practice today. We'll give you a good chunk of this. This will continue, obviously, the conversations on EST afternoons and the Reed Wilkins show. But let's give you a good chunk of this McDavid stuff. Here we go.
2 years.
Yeah, obviously said I was committed to winning here, and that's, I meant that when I said that. And 2 years makes a lot of sense. Gives us a chance to continue chasing down what we've been chasing down here with the core guys that have been here, and a little bit of money to work with too. So I think the deal makes sense for both sides. Yeah.
Connor, what was so why that?
I guess it's a unique situation. Just, we weren't going to sign a long-term deal, so, 2 years at that number makes a lot of sense. Gives us a chance, as I said, to extend our window here in Edmonton. Lenny's not going to go hungry with that money, so we'll be fine. So it's about winning, and that's always what I've preached. And so I think this deal gives both sides what they're looking for.
What made yesterday the day where you felt like, okay, like we asked you a lot of questions over the last several weeks. Was it you want to get it done before the season, or what made yesterday?
Well, I think obviously not wanting to be a distraction plays a factor. It's a lot for guys to have to come in here and answer questions for other guys. The coach to get asked about it, the GM to get asked about it every day. So nice to get it out of the way. No one's got to talk about it anymore. That obviously plays a factor, and then obviously just myself not wanting to answer the question and giving the Oilers some clarity on what's going to go down. So, like I said.
Connor, you got a lot of people in your circle and advisors and things like that. Have you ever discussed this with Sid at all? Like, he did something similar, and the outcome for him was pretty positive.
No, it's not about other guys. It's about obviously the guys in this room and my family, the people around me. I can't thank Juddy enough for how much work he's put into it, allowing me to. He's put in a lot of work and a lot of behind-the-scenes work, and kind of allowing my family and I, Lauren and I, to make the decision, not rushed, not with any other outside noise. So really appreciate obviously the work that he's done. Appreciate Stan and Jeff and the entire organization being patient. I know again it's not easy, so but it was something that I took seriously and wanted to give a lot of thought over, and something that we discussed ad nauseum and talked it over again and over again, and that was the conclusion we came to.
Was the decision about how long, or was playing out your advantage for you to see on the table?
I said everything was on the table, and I meant it then too. Of course, everything was on the table. Like that's the point of being in that situation. You have your options, but ultimately, our heart's here in Edmonton. Our heart's here with the core guys, with the guys in this room, as I alluded to. Obviously, the city and the fans are important to us, and we want to win here. We want to bring that, bring it back here and make our city proud, and our but mostly for the guys in this room. We've been through a lot together, and to see it through together is important.
Connor, nobody would argue that there's a thought out there that this is a window they have to start to contend. Clearly been contending pretty good for the last 5 years here. Does this contract frame the next 3 years, however, a little bit? Is there a different sort of aura about the next 3 years here now?
Well, clearly I think clearly there's a little bit of as I said, we took our time with it. I think there's a lot of factors that go into that. I think everyone understands the situation this room and this organization is in. We want to win, top to the bottom. If it lends urgency, that's a good byproduct, I guess.
Can you expand on
There you go. That is Connor McDavid. If he said
that's a byproduct.
Leads to urgency.
Yeah,
it's a good
I like
byproduct. That's good. He also said Lenny's not going to go hungry.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty funny as
I think
well.
he's over at Moochie Poochie's next
Cass,
door.
quickly before we wrap up, man, what'd you think of what we had? They'll have more on McDavid with EST Afternoons. Reed Wilkins was down there. Reed Wilkins show from 3 to 6 today here on Edmonton Sports Talk. But Cass, before we wrap, man, what'd you think of that? Classic mute. There we go.
No, I was just thinking.
Oh.
I was just taking a moment to think in that and think about what we just watched. I mean, a couple people have said it. He's playing 4D, right? Through that hole, he trolled all of us, and now he's basically like, yeah, I knew I was going to sign. We had some stuff to figure out first. 12.5 was the number. It was never about the number. It was about what the plans are, and a huge part is that byproduct. And I know he calls it a byproduct, but that's the pressure is there. The pressure is real. Organization has a massive opportunity, and he said it, guys. At the core of this, at the absolute core of it was extending their window. Yeah. It was extending their window, which is exactly what they did, because Connor McDavid's contract kicks in, Leon's contract kicks in, Evan Bouchard's everyone's contract kicking in. Stuart Skinner's going to get paid more, even with the cap going up. Money was going to be tight. Now it's not. So he extended the window. Absolutely.
All right, that's going to do it for us. You got more coming up, more reaction with Gajer on EST Afternoons. 2 Guys and Goalie, brought to you by the Sandman and his crew over at GS Construction, where they are hiring now. Check out their website, gsconstruction.ca, for more details on that. They've been out in the community for over 50 years. EST Afternoons is on the way next. Stick around for that. Should be a fun show as we get you ready. Tomorrow, the Edmonton Oilers play the Calgary Flames. Tales of the North tomorrow morning. I just saw that. I just remembered that.
Oh, baby.
Tomorrow morning on the Nielson Show. Making an FM debut.
Banger song this morning.
Oh, thanks. You like that one? I think we're going to play it a lot. I think it was pretty good. Thanks, Gajer. You should dance to it. All right, for Matt Kassian, Joaquin Gage, I'm Dustin Nielson. EST Afternoons on the way. Take it easy.